Hello my friends, it is December the 15th of 2024. This video is entitled My Top 10 Albums of 2024. So first of all, I just want to apologize for my rough sounding voice. It's definitely a little bit scratchy. The weather has been extremely cold here as of lately, so I think the weather is definitely having a negative impact on me, but otherwise I'm doing okay. Yeah, so I've been doing these end of year lists for the past several years now, so I decided to once again do another one of these end of year lists. So yeah, I've listened to lots of great new releases that have come out this year, as well as plenty of older albums also. Yeah, there have been lots of great new albums that have been released this year, and so yeah, here's my top 10 albums of 2024. Let's get into this. First of all, just let me have a drink of this tea here. This is some very special tea. Okay, I won't tell you what it is, but it is very special indeed. Okay, all right, so coming in at number 10 is VEMOD with The Deepening. This is a Norwegian black metal band. They have more of like an atmospheric black metal style, but they incorporate sort of like elements of like post-rock as well. I suppose you could kind of call it like post-black metal, I suppose, if you want to give it that label. Yeah, just very interesting music right here. Has a nice array of moods, a very layered sound, great musicianship, great production. Yeah, this music just takes you out of this world. It's very unique and very special sounding. I hadn't been familiar with this band prior to this release. I'd heard about the release of this album back in January, so I decided to check it out, and I was definitely very impressed. This is their first album in 12 years actually, so it's been a very long time since they've released an album, and yeah, this one is just fantastic. Okay, so definitely check this one out if you haven't. Great album. Okay, so coming in at number 10 is VEMOD with The Deepening. Coming in at number 9 is Winterfylleth with The Imperious Horizon. So yeah, I've been a huge fan of Winterfylleth for many years now. I do have all their full-length albums, and yeah, just a very unique style of black metal. I guess it's more of like an atmospheric style of black metal, but it's also very epic and triumphant sounding, very heavy and fast, but also very melodic sounding, with great lyrics also. Yeah, they have a certain formula or a certain style that they stick to. So yeah, this isn't necessarily too out of the ordinary for them. I mean, it definitely has some, similarities to their previous releases, but they have a certain formula, like I said, that they stick to, and they do it incredibly well. Yeah, this band is just great stuff right here, and I enjoy this album so much. Okay, so coming in at number 9 is Winterfylleth with The Imperious Horizon. All right, so coming in at number 8 is Borknagar with Fall, classic Norwegian black metal band. Yeah, I guess they have more of that kind of like progressive black metal style, kind of similar to like Enslaved or Eson. Very unique stuff. I do have most of their albums. I'm missing one of their albums, but yeah, great band. Excellent musicianship. The production is just top notch. Great lyrics as well, and yeah, just very well written songs right here. Very memorable songs with great hooks, and yeah, amazing stuff. And this is their first, or they haven't released an album rather in 5 years, I believe. This was their last album, True North. Great release right here. Definitely one of my more favorite albums from Borknagar. But yeah, Fall is a very good album from them as well. Great stuff. So yeah, definitely check this one out if you haven't. Amazing band right here, and an amazing album. Okay, so coming in at number 8 is Borknagar with Fall. Coming in at number 7 is My Dying Bride with Immortal Binding. Okay, so I've been into My Dying Bride for I guess a couple of years now. I really enjoy their music quite a lot, and I do have most of their albums now. Yeah, it took me a while to get into this band. Of course, I've been familiar with them for a long time, but I just, for whatever reason, never really got into their music. up until a few years ago, and they have more of that gothic metal style, which I'm a big fan of now. Really gotten into a lot more of the gothic metal in recent years. And yeah, My Dying Bride, great band. This is just another great release from them. I suppose it's nothing out of the ordinary necessarily. It sounds like a My Dying Bride album. Lots of very memorable songs with great hooks and great musicianship, and the production, of course, is just incredible. So yeah, it's just another great release from My Dying Bride. They never fail to deliver. They just deliver one great album after another, and this is another great album from them. Okay, so coming in at number 7 is My Dying Bride with Immortal Binding. Coming in at number 6 is Inquisition with Veneration of Medieval Mysticism and Cosmological Violence. Yeah, that's a pretty long album title right there. So yeah, I've been a huge fan of Inquisition since my early 30s. Yeah, definitely one of my top 5 black metal bands. Just love them so much. And so this is their first album in, I guess, about 4 years now. And so yeah, when they announced that they were coming out with a new album earlier this year, I had to, of course, get a copy of it. And I did do an album review of this album several months ago with another YouTuber. You can check that out. So yeah, it's has some similarities to their most recent album, but also contains elements, I would say, from their earlier releases as well. It's certainly very heavy and aggressive and fast, and with lots of great melodies, an array of moods. There's definitely some more like major key qualities here. They have keyboard elements as well, which just gives it that epic and triumphant feel. Dagon, the vocalist, great lyricist, great guitarist as well. Incubus, the drummer, excellent drummer, really complements Dagon really well. Yeah, so yeah, just another great release from this band. They released so many great albums throughout the years, and I really do enjoy this album so much. I've listened to this album quite a lot, really do enjoy it. Okay, so coming in at number 6 is Inquisition with Veneration of Medieval Mysticism and Cosmological Violence. Okay, before I move on to the top 5, let me get another drink of this tea here. Very good tea. Excellent stuff, really enjoy that. Alright, so coming in at number 5 is Nile with The Underworld Awaits Us All. So yeah, I've actually been a really big fan of this band since I was about 17 or 18, but I haven't really kept up on them in recent years for whatever reason. I'm not the biggest death metal fan, and I know I've mentioned this before, but there are certain death metal bands I really like quite a lot, and Nile is definitely one of them. I mean, this is just balls to the wall, extremely heavy, extremely fast, technical death metal. Lots of just crushing riffs, amazing drumming, vocals are fantastic. Some different vocal stylings going on here. Yeah, but the songwriting is just great as well. Memorable songs also. Yeah, this is just amazing music. I have to be in a certain mood though to listen to this kind of stuff, but yeah, Nile is my go-to band when I want to listen to this kind of death metal music here. Great release from this band. Really do enjoy this one so much. Nile, what a phenomenal band. Okay, so coming in at number 5 is Nile with the Underworld Awaits Us All. Coming in at number 4 is Dark Tranquility with Endtime Signals. So yeah, I've been a fan of Dark Tranquility for some years now. I do have quite a few of their albums. I'm a really big fan of melodic death metal. That's my preference for death metal. I like a lot of like Swedish style melodic death metal. I'm really big into that. Have been big into that for many years. And of course, Dark Tranquility are one of the founders of that whole style of Swedish melodic death metal. They just do it so well, and this band has released so many albums throughout the years, so many great albums, and this is another great release from them. Lots of interesting songs on here, an array of different ideas, an array of different moods as well. You know, you get some different concepts going on here, so definitely some different stylings going on, but yeah, still certainly very heavy and aggressive music here with lots of great melodies within the guitar riffs as well as the vocals. Yeah, great stuff right here from one of the masters and the founders of Swedish melodic death metal. Great stuff. Yeah, definitely check this one out if you haven't. Okay, so coming in at number 4 is Dark Tranquility with End Time Signals. All right. At number 3 is Opeth with The Last Will and Testament. Yeah, I was, like so many other people, really anticipating this album. When they announced that they were coming out with this new album some months ago, I was super excited. You know, and then they released their first single from the album, and I was just blown away by it. You know, it was definitely, or it's definitely heavier and darker and more aggressive sounding than the previous, or their more previous albums from recent years. And I've been disappointed with this band, somewhat disappointed with them, not entirely, but yeah, I haven't really been a big fan of their more recent albums. The last album that I really enjoyed from this band was Ghost Reveries. When they released Watershed back in, I think that album came out in 2008, I was kind of falling out of favor with Opeth, and then they released Heritage, and I was like, wasn't a big fan of it, but I've kind of come around since, and I've enjoyed some of that album. And but yeah, I haven't really been a big fan of their more recent albums, but I always wanted them to sort of return to that more kind of heavier and darker style that they did in their earlier days. And yeah, this album definitely is a return of sorts to that style, but it's definitely different in many other ways. Definitely contains elements, I suppose, from their earlier albums, but also contains elements from their more recent albums as well. But I would say it's also just a new evolution as well of this band. But yeah, great stuff here. Certainly very heavy at times, certainly very soft at times. Also, just a nice array of moods. Very dynamic. You know what you get with Opeth. You know, it just sort of ebbs and flows, and the musicianship, of course, it's just great. The guitar riffs, the drumming, Michael's vocals, of course. You know, he's doing the growls again, which is just fantastic. His growls are just great, and his melodic vocals are great. You get some other vocal stylings going on here as well, which is just phenomenal. And yeah, really enjoyed this album so much. I've really been listening to this one quite a bit as of lately. Excellent album right here. I'm sure this album will be on so many other people's top albums list of 2024. It is definitely a masterpiece. Okay, so coming in at number 3 is Opeth with The Last Will and Testament. All right, so we're getting down to the last 2 here. Let me get another drink of my tea. Very special tea here. Can't reveal what it is though. Okay, so coming in at number 2 is Forgotten Tomb with the Night Floating. Yeah, just absolutely love this album. Yeah, I've been a really big fan of this band for the past couple of years or so. Their style is very unique. It's sort of like it's hard to describe exactly. I guess they're kind of more of like a gothic metal type of band with sort of like depressive black metal elements. They have I would say it's just a more dark style of metal. It's not exactly depressive black metal, but it kind of is. But yeah, it definitely has some more leanings towards the gothic metal style as well. They just have a unique sound that they've created, and yeah, I just love it so much. And this album right here is just fantastic. You can hear some elements from their earlier albums on this particular release. It's a little bit different, especially from their past couple of albums, but I was kind of unsure at first when I first heard the first singles from this album. I wasn't too sure, but then I bought the album, I started listening to it. I was like, wow, this album is just phenomenal. I mean, so many great songs in here, great guitar riffs, and the vocals, of course, are just fantastic. Lots of memorable songs here. Just love the mood and the atmosphere in this music. It's just so dark and melancholic sounding. I just really enjoyed so much, and this band especially has been a big influence upon my band, which is Ordo Ab Chao. Yeah, definitely a big influence. I really enjoy their stuff so much. This is a band I've really gotten to over the past couple of years, and great stuff right here. If you haven't listened to this album, definitely give it a listen. Great album right here. Okay, so coming in at number 2 was Forgotten Tomb with Night Floating. And at number 1, okay, my number 1 album is Austere with Beneath the Threshold. Amazing album right here. This is a black metal band out of Australia. It's a duo, And yeah, they put out, I think, about 4 or 5 albums. I do have all their albums. They actually put out an album last year, which is this album right here, Corrosion of Hearts. Yeah, so this album I believe came out in April of 23, and I actually had this album high up on my list of my top albums of 2023. I think I had it at like number 2 or 3. I was really blown away by this album, and I was really surprised that they came out with this album this year. This came out, I believe, in April of 2024. I was surprised that they came out with an album so soon. So I wasn't entirely sure what to think, but yeah, of course I listened to the singles when they had released them. I was really impressed, and then I decided to buy this album here, and yeah, just absolutely blown away by it. I mean, great stuff. I mean, it's the style of black metal I really enjoy, just very atmospheric and melancholic sounding, with just great musicianship and top-notch production. The vocals are just fantastic, and just a very layered sound, a very complex sound, deeply emotional music, just with just an array of ideas, very dynamic. Yeah, the music just takes you on this journey, and it just takes you out of this world, and it's just a phenomenal experience to listen to this album. It is just absolutely mind-blowing. I just love this album so much. A definite masterpiece. Yeah, I really do enjoy this album, and this band is just phenomenal. I really enjoy their stuff so much. So yeah, great release from Austere. Okay, all right, so my number 1 album of 2024 is Austere with Beneath the Threshold. Okay, so I'm just going to have another drink of my specialty here. Yeah, that's delicious. Okay, so those are my top 10 albums of 2024. Yeah, great albums. I really enjoy them a lot. Of course, there have been other albums that I have enjoyed quite a bit this year, but these are definitely my top 10 albums of 2024. So if you're not familiar with some of them, definitely check them out. I will leave a list of these albums in the description, so you can take a look at that. Okay, so yeah, let me know what some of your favorite albums are of 2024. I'm very curious to know, so please leave some comments. So I think this may be the last video that I do of 2024. I'm not entirely sure yet. If something else comes up, I may make another video, but I think this may be the last video of this year. And so if it is the last video of this year, I just want to say have yourselves an excellent holiday season, a great new year. I will be back in 2025. I have lots of other videos planned. Okay, so I'm very much looking forward to the new year. Looking forward to all the new releases that will be coming out. Okay. All right, my friends, I want to say thank you very much for watching, and I want to say thanks to all the people who watch my videos and subscribe to my channel. I really, truly appreciate it. Take care, my friends. Cheers.